So in front of me, I've got the HTX5300P, and it's a new hedge cutter from Ego in the Pro X range. Let's get it unboxed, give it a test, run through the specs and see what it's all about.
Tested by Machinery Nation.
So I expect the first thing you'll see is it's not like a standard hedge cutter. It's not a handheld small one for doing that sort of close, neat work. And it's not on a pole. It's sort of something in between. So I call this a long reach handheld hedge cutter. So it's going to give you the best of both worlds. It's going to give you the short, sort of nice, close action you get with a standard hedge cutter, but giving you a little bit of extra length, but not going over the top where it's going to be unwieldy like a pole hedge cutter. And being that the hedge cutter is a nice compact size, it also reduces the weight. It only weighs in at just over 4 kilos. So this type of tool is only used for one job, and that's cutting hedges. So let's have a look at the business end. So working from the bottom of the blades upwards, we got a tip protector fitted, and this is to stop any damage you might get from cutting close to the ground. So blades are 35% thicker than a lot of competitors on the market. Now the blades have actually got a carbon fibre support down through the centre. Now a lot of competitors will just be steel. Having it being carbon fibre means it's 10 times stronger and 5 times lighter. That's pretty smart. So you've got a decent 27.9mm tooth spacing, ideally suited for that thicker material you're cutting in hedges and bushes. So the blades themselves are triple sharpened, and you've got a double knife edge cutting action. So moving up to the top of the blades, we got a blade protection guard, and as the name suggests, this protects the user from contact with the blades. So the gearbox itself is nice and streamlined, as you can see, so you can get nice and close to the hedge. And it comes with 2 really easy and accessible greasing points. So carrying on the carbon fibre theme, we got a carbon fibre shaft fitted, and that's actually got a steel drive shaft internally, and the reason they fitted that is it will give you greater durability when you're using it professionally. And we have 3 blade speeds, and you can use it on a slow speed for cutting thicker stuff, or crank it up to full power for giving that really nice fine cut. And couple that with a variable speed trigger, it gives you greater control. So the 3 blade speeds are 3,200 RPM on blade speed 1, 3,600 RPM on blade speed 2, and 4,000 RPM on blade speed 3. And because it's part of the Pro X commercial range, it comes with a commercial brushless motor fitted on their 56 volt system. And the overall tool length is 1.5 meters with a 53 centimeter blade. And just like the other tools in the Pro X range, it is IPX5 weather resistant. Now I'm actually really looking forward to using this. From someone that's never used a short, shall we say, long reach hedge cutter before, it'd be interesting how we get on. Now I've fitted it out with a 2.5 amp hour battery, so let's go and cut some hedges. And the reason I'm using a 2.5 amp hour battery is it will reduce the weight, but also a hedge cutter is the least power hungry battery tool probably going on the market. So I don't need a massive great capacity battery to do all the work I need to do with it. And this is what we're going to tackle with the Ego hedge cutter today. Now cranking it up to blade speed 3, I can already notice there's so much more power. And it's ideal on this finer stuff. Obviously it's not a pole hedge cutter either, so let's see what sort of lengths we can cut to. Now we've got to be cutting about 9 foot here, and it's doing a really good job. I was expecting to need to have something that's articulated to be able to sort of bend over, but doing the sides of the hedge is an absolute breeze. I actually think it's doing a better job as if you had something that's articulated as well. let's finish off the rest of it then. Certainly making light work. One thing I have found as well is I wasn't overly familiar of having a gearbox you can't articulate, but I found if you keep it really close to the hedge, you can keep a really nice straight, you know, cut, and it works really well. And it's powering through this low landi. And it's really comfortable handles as well because you can just switch between the two. Some people can only go left or right-handed, but I'm pretty ambidextrous, so you can just swap it between the two. Makes it a lot easier to use then. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. It's done a proper smart job actually. Even my hedge cutting skills. It's better than me stripes anyway, but yeah, quite like that. I think the real difference as well with that hedge cutter is it's because it's lightweight and you get that control with it being quite close to your body. You can get in really nice and close to the bush, and you can see here how fine I've been able to cut it with the extra blade speed as well. And certainly the height wasn't an issue. I was a little bit worried about, you know, something that isn't quite so long and articulated. Obviously the hedge cutter has been absolutely ideal for us, especially on this leylandii. It's not overly tall, but I certainly needed something longer than a normal handheld hedge cutter. But if you've got areas where you need articulation or you need the extra length, there is the HTX5300P. So that is the pole hedge cutter, and that's articulated. So if you imagine this one sort of another sort of 3 or 4 foot on, that will give you the sort of length of what it is. And then that one there is exactly the same spec and standard, just a little bit heavier obviously because of the length than this HTX5300P. So there we go guys, that is the HTX5300P from Ego. Check it out at your local dealer and try and get your hands on one because it's certainly worth giving it a go. And I've got a little bit more hedge cutting to finish off, so leave it with me and we'll see you in the next video. We're Machinery Nation. We bring you product videos every week all about tools and machinery. Please subscribe to the video. We hope you like it. Please drop any comments below in the box and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!